BTM review here with the Walking Dead podcast. This is Riverman. I'm here with Pat.
Howdy, folks.
Aaron is taking the night off, but that's okay. We'll still got the show here for you. The name of the show this week was Untie, I think, and basically we focused a lot on Jesus and his Hilltop gang.
Had some pretty good drama building here, I think, and we got some more insight, like you said, into the Hilltoppers and kind of what they're all about. A little bit of action with Rick taking over, kind of as, and we get a little more info on Negan.
Yeah, Negan. I mean, they brought him up at like what, halfway through the episode, just briefly. Which is probably the best part of the episode, where they had that little showdown for a few minutes. But...
Well, we find out that Negan has taken hostage one of the residents' brothers, and in order to reclaim that guy's brother, he has to come back and kill the leader of the Hilltoppers, who is a skeezball and trying to get on Maggie there.
Which I kind of like that guy, man. He's a creepy guy. I mean, you could obviously tell that he is, sleazeball kind of, and... I don't know. I kind of liked his character.
Why?
I don't know. It was kind of refreshing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you couldn't completely trust him, but you had to do what you had to do to actually get food. So
right. But even then, at the same time, Maggie obviously flips the script on him by saying, "We'll go kill Negan and get your guy back." But we want the same deal that Negan's getting, and not only do we want that, but we're getting it right now.
Which I kind of didn't understand because, I mean, isn't Rick and all of them not supposed to be like, straight up killers or whatever? They're just going to come in and kill these people they don't even know. I mean, they know that Negan's a bad guy, but I mean, I'm sure at this point they really don't know how powerful he is or how bad of a guy he really is.
Well, they talk to him and say, who are they talking to? Jesus or one of the other persons, and said that they've seen them traveling in groups of up to 20. So they do have some form of perspective as to how big it is. Now, just loading up the RV and just heading over to where Negan's at, I'm definitely not going to trust the guy either with the broken arm there, because he's already out for blood because we've already killed one of his people. Just come back into the Hilltopper trying to get my friend's brother back. Now he's dead too, and my arm's broken. And Daryl broke the shit out of that guy's arm. It should be in a sling.
But you got to look at, Rick's people. His people know how to fight now. After one zombie fight, they know how to fight. They're not fighting actually people with guns. So they're gonna get fucking slaughtered, I think.
Well, yeah, it's not like, they've been practicing maneuvers and stuff like that. But if you looked in the trailer, did you see the trailer for the coming one? It shows them like inside of a building, like they're fucking like they're all SWAT team members, like clearing rooms and shit. I'm just like, when the hell did they start training all that crap?
Yeah. Yeah, because 2 episodes ago he's bitching about the whole thing, and
right
now they're trained professionals, obviously.
Right now we have tactical entry training camps at Alexandria. looks like a small version of ISIS training camps.
And if some of these people are like Negan's people, we saw the biker gang. They look like some badass guys. So if they didn't have the rocket launcher, they would have been outnumbered.
And like they said, you figure as much because, they say we kill somebody usually right off the bat, just kind of prove a point. And it's not only Negan, it would probably appear anybody who kind of just goes, along with him.
Yeah.
So they're out to prove a point, and obviously they're ruthless, and it's almost like a mafia type thing where we're going to offer you protection. Well, what are you protecting us from? Well, we're protecting you from us because we will kill the shit out of you and take everything you got.
So Jesus basically brought him out of this town to do a little trade, and the main guy of the town didn't really want anything to do with him because they didn't have anything to trade with them. So
Well, it almost sounded like he was willing to kind of put him into, almost sounded like slave labor to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can work it off, and he was trying to, from the sounds of it, pimp Maggie out, trying to get some.
Oh yeah.
Which apparently, what is with her and the kind of villains of these towns and trying to get some? The governor, this guy. I'm sure Negan will probably want some too after it. Maybe he's into pregnant chicks. Whatever.
I want to get their pinky stinky from Maggie.
There you go.
Now the Michonne's off limits. But...
Yeah. And we got a little more somebody having an existential crisis there on the show. This episode is Abraham.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, we see him talking to Sasha in the first scene, and kind of bummed out because he's not going to be doing patrols with her anymore because she's changing up her shift. And then next time we see him, he's with Rosita, and she gives him the gift of a little piece of the taillight from the gas truck that they had their close call in. And you're not really quite sure what to think by the end of it, because he got attacked by that guy and almost choked out. And then when Daryl picks him up, he says he's better than okay, and the necklace is still sitting on the ground.
That was the stupidest fucking necklace ever. I don't care if you're in a zombie apocalypse. I wouldn't wear that stupid thing.
I mean, you know, to each his own, I suppose. You know,
I'm wearing a piece of what was that? The motorhome or whatever that blew up, or what?
The gas truck that they drove.
Gas truck, yeah.
So actually, since you are a married man, you know you'll wear whatever your wife tells you to, just to keep her from.
But they're not married, are they?
No, but at the same time, he doesn't want to get bitched at by her. So you know,
well,
why aren't you wearing your necklace?
God. Which, I mean, I don't understand this. I mean, what is this fascination with Sasha? I mean, Rosita is so much hotter. I mean,
where are we to go with him from there? Because we don't get any more insight other than he says he's just fine when it comes to this whole thing. So is he going to pick Rosita, or did he leave the necklace behind? Is that foreshadowing, saying that he's going to pick Sasha because he's leaving the necklace behind? You know, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, something's going to happen with him. I mean, he might die for Sasha, or something might come of something between him and Sasha. I don't know if they're going to hook up right away, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird foreshadowing there. I don't really know.
Yeah, you could possibly see him dying and like Sasha telling him like she loves him as he dies.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
So we got the Hilltopper leader. We did that, and then we got the guy. Rick stabs the guy in the neck, which is pretty fucking cool. Yeah,
that whole confrontation thing. I was kind of sitting there like that whole part of the episode where they start to encounter the Hilltoppers. Be like, you know, it's almost kind of weird how being in this Walking Dead universe almost makes you kind of empathize with a clan kind of like Negan, where I was kind of sitting there as they were walking in there saying, you know, why don't you just kill somebody if they just start resisting you? Yeah. You have an automatic weapon in your hand. Mm-hmm. Just lay even just a few into the air just to put your point across, because Jesus said they ran out of ammo months ago.
Yeah. How are they really going to do anything to you? I mean, at that point.
Right. And then we have, again, we touched on the group of Hilltoppers coming back and trying to kill the leader of the Hilltoppers to get the guy's brother back. And then all hell breaks loose after that, where Rick starts attacking him to kind of put a kibosh on it to help defend the guy, because he attacked, you know, a seemingly innocent person. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it just goes to shit after that. That guy's going to kill Rick. Rick kills that guy. And the guy's wife is left to sit there and cry all alone.
So you think the Hilltop leader is going to die or something, or is he going to survive that?
I don't know. I almost kind of see him in another role where if they do survive this thing with Negan, mm-hmm. Then almost kind of or sort of like a betrayal down the line.
Sure.
You know, because he thinks he's fucking slick and cute. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I could see him cooking up something to kind of screw them over in the long run when it comes to dealing with Negan, or dealing further than with them as a group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to know what kind of relationship Jesus and that guy have with each other. I mean, if Jesus can actually get through to him, or if he's kind of just his little bitch. I don't know.
I kind of thought you didn't really see them talking to each other, so it almost kind of made the dynamic just really weird, because Jesus was saying one thing, but the leader of the Hilltoppers was completely acting a different way.
Sure.
Because Jesus said that, you know, he's open to trade. You know, you thought, okay, they're going to walk into this place where, you know, the Hilltoppers in Alexandria open for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way this guy kind of comes across is, like I said, he sounded like he was more interested in taking these people in to get something out of them as opposed to working with them.
Sure.
So I think he's still kind of a dubious character, and he needs to be watched out for, regardless of Maggie's negotiating skills and her ability to get over on him.
Yeah, and supposedly she has like the greatest negotiating skills after she hung out with what's her name,
Deanna. Yeah,
Deanna. I mean,
for a couple days. I mean, they were there for a while.
Yeah.
They could have had like 4 or 5 conversations or something, you know.
Yeah, for all we know.
I think it's fun. I just think it's funny, kind of, that we've known that Maggie's pregnant since what, the end of season 5,
Yeah.
and it's only been mentioned in a few episodes, but they hit it really hard in this one because we meet a doctor as we're t- as
Oh,
we're
yeah, I
taking
forgot about
as we're taking as we're taking Jesus back towards the hilltop. They encounter. Oh yeah, we haven't even touched on this. They encounter the crash.
Yeah.
And in that crash, then they find a few of the hilltopper residents, and then that's how they ultimately get back to that area. I honestly thought when they encountered the crash, here we go again, another stupid trap.
Yep.
They fell for it yet again. I was actually pleasantly surprised when that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and after that, I mean, this episode actually made me like Jesus a little bit more because, I mean, we didn't get a whole lot of his character last time, and I really didn't like him last week, but I mean, I'm starting to warm up to him a little bit. I mean, he's kind of intriguing, you know, a little bit. So
A little mysterious. I think if there's any characters from the Hilltop gang that'll kind of hang around towards maybe even the next season, it would be him, definitely, and the leader of the Hilltoppers. Obviously, they haven't established any of the other members of the society as being kind of, you know, name or other than bit players. So I think he'll stick around for a while, honestly.
yeah.
Especially because they're supposedly going to kill a main character by the end of the season, but I'll wait and see. Hold my breath.
Jumping back to the whole Abraham thing, I mean, he was pretty upset that Glenn and Maggie were having a child, but after he saw the ultrasound, he seemed kind of happy, or I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah,
But
I couldn't really quite know what to take away from that either. Obviously, he was talking to Glenn about that, and I think he used that when you were mixing the Bisquick or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you mean to make pancakes? Which I thought was a pretty funny analogy.
yeah.
But you know, it almost kind of again kind of leads to that whole crisis he was kind of having with, you know, is he conflicted about, you know, does he want to be with Sasha, does he want to be with Rosita, or does he want to be with anybody and just kind of live this nihilistic view of the entire thing that pretty much every character has gone through. It just seems like it might be part Abraham's turn.
Sure.
This time around. So I'm not really quite sure what he took away from the ultrasound picture, really.
And after like thinking about it, like I don't see him dying off this season.
Abraham.
Yeah.
So we do have a whole shitload of characters that we still have to bring back into the mix, obviously, with Negan kind of coming into the fold, because we still have a few residents of Alexandria at Alexandria that one way or another are going to have to be worked back into the mix here. So I don't see them now on their little road trip going to Alexandria as the first encounter. Obviously, when they encounter a new villain, it takes a few episodes or a few meetings before shit really hits the fan. Look at you know, vis-a-vis the governor. But that last group that they encountered at the beginning of the last season, that happened, you know, kind of resolved itself pretty quick, and then you kind of wondered where else it was going to go from there. But I think as big as Negan, they've built up Negan, I think we're going to see him not only possibly in the next episode, but I'd say up to the mid-season split of season 7.
I was kind of hoping. I know we used to not like how like they jump around to different characters, but maybe if we can actually see Negan's backstory a little bit to know what he's all about, because they're basically just are they gonna run in there and then, you know, meet Negan that way, or are they gonna actually have an episode directed towards Negan like they did the governor?
Yeah, they had they had, you know, they revealed a lot about the governor. It almost made you know, empathize with him to a certain degree when you realize, you know, kind of how he got to be the way he is.
Yeah.
He wasn't a complete scoundrel to you until the end when he cut Herschel's head off, and was manipulating not only Andrea but other members of other groups that he had met to go to innocent, you know, to just go after the group in the prison. So I'm not exactly sure, because from the way that they've described Negan in a lot of the stuff that we read, is he's absolutely ruthless. And other than that, doesn't really have too terribly much anything else going for him. So
Yeah.
I mean, human characteristics like that, you kind of have to have them in order for people to kind of view you as they kind of did the governor. But
Well,
I
that's
don't.
why I like the governor. I mean, they actually, I don't know, gave him somewhat of a backstory, and I mean
It
that's
just
the only
brought us up.
antagonist they really got in depth with.
It is other than like Shane, but even then Shane just
Yeah,
went crazy.
sure.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see, and I am intrigued because, like I said, we got some good drama building. Because I am kind of wondering how they're going to do the reveal here with the rest of the next couple episodes. Because we got what, 2 more left?
No, we actually have 5 more left.
5 more? They do
Yeah.
what, a 16 episode season then?
I guess it says it ends April 3rd, so
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I'm just looking. I see up to episode 13, which is on March 13th. So, but from the looks of it, we'll see Negan here well before the last 2 episodes of the season. So
yeah.
this could definitely be interesting, and even who knows, it might be able to play out before the end of the season as it goes.
And I'm actually looking forward to this next episode just because of the fact that Nicotero's directing it. I mean, he directed the 2 episodes ago, the No Way Out, when it was
The
actually
premiere.
really good episode.
You got to figure that the reveal, since they've built it up so much, the reveal of Negan has got to be something. There's got to be something at least cool in the episode.
Yeah.
That's gonna, because we've already had that moment where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
blowing them up with the rocket launcher. So you kind of you gotta try some way somehow to top that that mid-season premiere.
So basically, what you think they're going to go back to Alexandria and then get
I don't
people together and then go up to Negan?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'd probably try to do a scouting trip out to Negan's camp,
Or check that out first.
just to see what they can find, or maybe even try to scatter some more supplies. Because, like I said, in the trailer for the next coming up one, it looks like they're combing through buildings almost like a SWAT team,
Okay.
trying to clear it out and stuff like that. So, Lord only knows where they're at, because they wouldn't have their guns raised like that if they weren't looking for something. But they could be raiding houses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or-
and it'd probably be the smart thing to actually, check out your opponent before you actually just go in and guns blazing with
Well, and
everything.
that's what I was saying when they offered the deal. Like, okay, that's great. And then it's like, okay, let's hop in the RV. I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna go drive over there with a pregnant lady and a fucking RV full of food that we just took from people. No, logic would dictate you maybe go check out the place you're going. I understand we got the guy from the Hilltopper community who knows what Negan, knows stuff about Negan, but at the same time, I don't trust that guy for a second. I think he's going to try to dick them over somehow.
Just looking at the guy, you could tell that he was up to no good. I mean,
Yeah, there was just like that quick look when Rick told him, that I need your help.
Yeah.
And the guy just they just showed him, give him that quick look. You're like, okay, brilliant foreshadowing by you guys, Walking Dead. So
yeah. I mean, Negan probably has something over him where he's kind of tied to Negan some way.
either that, or he just seems that fuck
Or he's
this,
scared of him.
my buddy's dead. That guy from the Hilltopper's dead. So if I gave Negan up a couple people, he'll take me in.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just let him know that, hey, that guy's dead, and for all we know, Negan might be working under the guise that the Hilltoppers still have ammo. So, and even attacking him, he might knows that he wins strategically. He's still going to lose people in the process. So, who knows? We got a lot of open-ended stuff that working on this one, as the episode says that knots untie. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to get into some of the YouTube comments before we give our ratings.
All right, what we got?
We got a YouTube comment from My Mr. Cookies. This is his name. I think Daryl's flip flop is because of those people who stole his crossbow.
What's you mean flip flop? What were we talking about in the last episode?
I don't know. That's the hard thing, is I don't remember what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah, come on now, people. It's 7 days, sometimes up to 10 days in between these things. We don't fucking remember this shit.
Whoever commented back, I think it was Aaron. He said, "Good call. You're probably right, though." So I don't know. Aaron knew what he was talking about. So thanks, My Mr. Cookies, right in again.
Or at least he's pretending to know what he talked about. So.
Yeah, Adrian, he's wrote in before. He says he gives the show a 6 from last week. Pleasantly surprised, fast forwarding in time to a couple of months later. Mm-hmm. Then he basically goes into stuff we said. The sex smell must have been pungent.
Oh yeah, they'd be stinking up the room in those houses. They don't have air conditioning going. Barely, all you can do is open the windows to get it out. Oh yeah, that room be smelling like Boo Dissy.
Aaron, you are my favorite, so as a Aaron fan there, I guess.
Oh fuck that guy in the horse you rode in on.
Let's see here, Rockula. God, these
boy.
people they wrote it in a freaking book. I mean, they put like points in the actual podcast where they're talking about shit.
People need hobbies.
He wasn't really happy with the wolf. Oh, he wasn't happy with the wolf storyline either.
I really wasn't. Yeah, I don't think either of us really were. It just kind of seemed anticlimactic, so to speak.
It would be a perfect match if Daryl and Aaron hooked up. So he agreed with us on that. Daryl sees Aaron as an equal. So basically, he wants his gay boyfriend to leave him, or he wants him to leave his gay boyfriend for him. So
we don't know if the gay boyfriend's still around though. We've been talking.
Yeah, he actually said something about that. I guess he was in the finale of the before the mid-season, and they were killing walkers and stuff, both of them. So
I'll take Rockula's word for it. That fucker's got eagle eyes, so if he says he's in there, then he must have been in there.
Yeah. So that was basically Rockula's, and then we have Michael Jackson is his name, and he just said shit podcast. So
thanks for helping out, Michael.
Thanks, Michael Jackson.
from beyond the grave.
That's right. Beat it, Michael.
Yeah.
So,
what do we want to go for ratings on this then?
You know what? I was actually surprised with this. I liked it a hell of a lot better than last week. I like the new character of the Hilltopper, the leader of the Hilltoppers. Like I said, I mean, he was interesting enough, and I mean, there was somewhat of action in it. And I did like the stabbing in the neck scene, which is pretty cool, because after Rick has blood all over his face, he's going to get up and like everybody's going to think he's fucking crazy, which right. I love when that happens. But I would give it a 6 out of 10. I would say it's a solid episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you too. I was, like I said, I was intrigued by the nice drama, compelling that we got here going. I actually want to get through to the next episode, so I'm going to give it a 7.
No.
I thought, it was on point as far as these episodes go so far. So from the looks of it, it looks like we have a little more for the pacing of these episodes in this second half of the season has been actually really nice, I think.
No, what the hell, man? I mean, coming from last season or.
Yeah, well, even the last half of the season, it was just like, come on with it now. But definitely these 3 episodes we've gotten into it. Not even the time jump, just the way that kind of the story just was perpetuated throughout this whole episode. I thought there wasn't really even it was literally one of those things where the credits rolled and I'm like, oh, really? That's the end of it?
No, and I agree. I mean, coming into this week, I thought it was going to be a giant turd because it was the same night as the Oscars was on.
Yeah.
And usually when they do that, like the Super Bowl, the Oscars, they like throw a filler episode in there that really doesn't matter, like the cabin episode and all those other ones. So I was pleasantly surprised, and I did enjoy it. It did keep me awake, unlike last week. But 6 out of 10. I'm actually looking forward to next week and seeing. Hopefully, we could see Negan and get that shit rolling because I want to see some bloodshed.
I think we'll get a brief glimpse of him, so to speak, maybe even, but not maybe.
Do you remember the actor that plays him?
I believe it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Okay, I'll have to look him up later.
You'd know him if you'd seen him. He's been in a whole bunch of shit. Nothing that I can remember off the top of my head, of course, but he's a TV character actor, and he's been in a bunch of movies and shit. You've seen Watchmen, haven't you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's the comedian.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the comedian in Watchmen. So.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to see what's up with him. But.
As high as they build it and saying as epic as a villain as he's going to be, I mean they got a lot of hype to live up to. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know what the ratings are doing now, but I mean I'm sure they're still like through the roof. So.
Well, and because they've already brought up the point twice now that Negan kills somebody before right when he meets them, you just know somebody in the group is going to die right away whenever he's, encounters the group.
Sure.
Yeah, it has to happen. We've already said it twice. If you were a betting man, I'm sure they'll either run into somebody from Negan's camp or somebody who's run into Negan's camp, and they'll say it again, and then it'll happen. So
Yeah.
hopefully, for Riverman's sake, it can be Glenn.
Hopefully, I don't see it happening, but Glenn,
I,
Maggie too. I mean, that'd be what, 2 for 1. I'm just kidding.
all the articles I've been seeing was saying Daryl's gonna die.
Daryl.
Yeah,
And that's fine. I really don't care at this point. I mean, Rick's the only one I really like anymore, which, coming from that, I mean, I used to hate him, so it's kind of a step up. But
that's because he's not crazy hallucinating seeing his dead wife and whatnot.
yeah. Real quick before we wrap this up, do you see this dying off, this Walking Dead craze? I'm starting to see it. Like, not as many people are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously their ratings are still through the roof for a cable show, especially on a Sunday night. But as far as the whole zombie just big thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Soon now, it's the horror genre has got to find something else. And for a while there after Blair Witch, it was found footage movies, and even still kind of to this day it is. And obviously Twilight kind of rekindled the thing in the with vampires, albeit sparkly ones. But this whole zombie thing, obviously it's here to stay. The indelible mark that was left by movies like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that. That stuff's not going away. But we've talked about ad nauseum, how long this show should go on and how long we think it's going to go on. So, I mean, obviously still as long as they're writing the comics, they'll probably have, quite a bit of source material to work with. But as far as the whole zombie craze, I definitely don't, I don't see it in like stores and stuff as much as I used to, like around Halloween and whatnot. So
this past 6 months or so, I just feel like people are watching it nowadays out of habit, like they're not, as crazy into it as they.
Yeah, I don't see as many reactions
on
social media and stuff like that as I used to, like even a couple seasons ago. So, I mean, AMC's still making a shitload of money on it, but I'm definitely not seeing as much merchandising and stuff like that. Oversaturation of anything, no matter how popular it is, obviously then people get sick of it and backlash towards it one way or another. So, I think it'll run its natural course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just honestly surprised they've been able to drag it out this long.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I figured at most it would have been 5 seasons, and it's 6 at best, and put it down. But
and I'm curious, if anybody has any feedback on that. I don't know, like 2 years ago, I mean, you couldn't get away from it. Now it just seems like it's starting to die off a little bit, which is kind of nice. I mean, I was getting kind of sick of the whole. I mean, I love zombie films, but I mean, I was getting sick of Walking Dead getting thrown in my face, the memes, all that other bullshit.
Well, it also, I think it kind of, obviously being anything that you like, if the minute it becomes popular, it almost seems like with some TV shows that there's a need to become more accessible to a more wider audience, and because of that, things get kind of diluted and just overlooked, and the attentions to detail and the core things that put the show where it was at just kind of get overlooked. And it almost seems like there's a concerted effort to sort of get back to that here with this new season.
That would be nice.
Especially within these past couple episodes, but even in some of the action and stuff I saw from the first half of the season, I thought that they were at least making an effort.
Yeah.
For a lot of the stuff. And even then still, obviously, with a villain coming up like Negan, it's a lot of fan favorite type stuff because a lot of people have been talking for a long time about this guy being a part of the show. So
that'd be like the ultimate for me. I mean, the first 2 seasons were great, and then if they could have like at least 2 good last seasons, I mean, then I could basically just buy those seasons on Blu-ray and just forget the rest of the seasons.
Even just stringing a couple episodes in the halves together is fine by me. It's like, it's like in baseball when you go play series against people. You win 2 out of 3, you keep winning 2 out of 3. You're sooner or later you make it to the playoffs.
Exactly.
But I'm actually, I'm optimistic here. Third episode, second half of season 6 here as to where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Even warts and all, despite the problems, well documented problems, what they're doing, I'm enjoying. So I hope they continue it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, coming from last season, I gave it a 4 last week. I mean, but that's pretty good. I mean, 6 is even better. So, but that'll pretty much do it for this week. Go to btmreview.com. Go to our YouTube page. Go to our Facebook page. iTunes. Go to the Revival House on Facebook. It's a social group, and we just bullshit about everything. So it's called the Revival House, but
it's mostly Aaron and Riverman posting inside jokes about movies that they liked when they were kids.
Pretty much. I mean, we have your top favorite movies and just news and.
If you're into a bunch of weird movies and are ashamed of it, you can come here judgment free and post about it.
Pretty much. So yeah, jump on that group page. But other than that, I'm Riverman,
Pat,
and you guys have a good night.
Good night, Canada.
Make America great again.